Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning.
Sunday fun day, biznitches.
I just got off work. Made an $80 purchase. I think it's beneficial. It's a purchase we made and then backed out of once before. It is a nice sunny day. Let's see if I can get some. We're a little fogged, but not as fogged as we could be, so. Yeah, I see that sun coming through the fog of my windshield. Yesterday, it's going to be just as cold today, but yesterday it was so cold that the heater really couldn't keep up comfortably. We had this, the cats and I all stayed on the bed, had the blanket on me, we all huddled together, and it was fine, but not something where you could do anything. So hopefully I have a fix for that today. Right now I'm going to find a spot to post up at. As soon as we get a little defrosted. Side windows are fine. Windshield's a little fogged. I've had the heater running since yesterday. It's been on low since I've been in work. So I came and checked on the cats at lunchtime. Everything was fine. Fed them. And then came back out. Still running good. And it's just going to have to be that way. It's 19 degrees today, so it'll get up into the mid-20s, and then it'll drop again. But today's the last of the really cold spells, then we'll stay in the lows of the 30s again. So I feel like 35, I think I've mentioned this before in a video, but I feel like 35 is about as cold as I like. 35 means the buddy heater can keep us comfortable in the back, even though it's using propane and all that stuff. But anything below that, it's a bit of a struggle, especially if I try to keep it on low. So luckily I'm in Alabama.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
And Alabama doesn't get too many temperatures like that. The average is the 30s. But I got fur balls to take care of, so I want to make sure they stayed warm. And they are. I just checked on them. They're all, at least 3 of them, because Grable likes to go underneath, and I don't know why. I think she goes near the batteries where it puts off a little bit of warmth, but 3 of them are all just together on the bed like they usually are. Catch up with you in a little bit. Well, I'm parked in one of my usual spots over here. There is a little Nissan that pulled sideways next to me over here. I'm not sure what they're doing, so I'm not going to go to the back just yet. Play it by ear. I'm only planning on spending, well, I don't know. I honestly should start over at the other spot first, now that I think about it. Anyway, for right now, I'm here. We'll see if I go to the back to show you my purchase. I'm not sure what this car is doing, so. You know what? This car is posted up, and she's not really showing signs of moving. And I'm probably going to end up back over here later in the day. So I am going to go ahead and pull out.
Let's roll.
I don't really know what this car is doing, but she's bundled up and everything. She could be someone who's interested in potentially leasing something over here, and maybe she's waiting for the realtor. I don't know. It's an odd spot for someone to park, because she doesn't look like someone who's boondocking. She doesn't look like someone who's planning on staying. Like she's waiting for somebody. But it's an odd spot to wait for somebody there unless you're coming there to see that property. Looks like they got the racks up back there in Goodwill, so not too much longer. So I don't imagine it's going to take them that long to put merchandise up, considering the type of merchandise Goodwills have. I'm excited to check it out. I really hope they have a movie section. A movie and book section, and even CDs would be nice. Give me something to do as well, you know? Inexpensive something. We're gonna go over to our Dollar Tree spot. We actually haven't been at that Dollar Tree spot for a little bit. And guys, if you can, remind me. I need to crack out the inflator and check my tire pressure. I know I'm low. As to how low, I don't know, but with this weather like this, I definitely want to go and check my tire pressure before I take another long trip. I say long, but to the next town, you know what I mean? This is like the third ice patch I've passed on here, so we do have some black ice up in this area, which I don't imagine will be too much trouble once that sun comes up, but there's some crows playing in the ice apparently. I would park in my usual spot, but there's a baby carriage.
That's my baby! Watch out!
And a chair. I don't want to park here though, because I know that's where I'm going to do it nose down today, I think. Yeah, let's do nose down today. Let's do nose down and against this barrier. That should give us a good angle for the sun. Hopefully our charge controller is doing what it's supposed to. Alright, I will see you guys in the back. Alright, as you can see, I'm in the back of the van. It's a giant box, but this is what I got. This is essentially Ozark Trail's version of a Mr. Heater Buddy Heater. I did do some research and they said having 2 propane heaters would heat up the space more efficiently. So that's what I decided to do. So let me crack this open real quick. One of the main reasons I've gotten this one is because, sorry, Grayble's hitting the camera, is because it's a bit of a hard time to keep taking that hose off of the buddy heater. So this one's really going to be made for me to use the green propane canisters. That way when I need a little extra heat, I can use the green propane canisters. At least that's the plan right now. So that's a nice handle, actually. The reason I got Ozark Trail, well, it is a little cheaper and I still get 10% off, but they were sold out of buddy heaters at my store. And they only had one at that other store I go to, so I didn't want to take a chance. So it is bigger looking than my existing buddy heater. Let me see here. Like, there's the existing buddy heater, and then there's this one. Weight wise, it feels about the same. Knobs on the other side. So this is the buddy heater's knob. This one's knobs here. Setup looks the same. The paint finish is actually kind of nice. I kind of like it. Kind of tactile. What are you trying to do, Betty Grable? Let's not jump in the box yet, girl. Space is very limited. We live in a van. I almost took it out of the box at work. Sun's coming right through the window there, but I almost took it out of the box and tossed it before I got in the van. But just in case there's something wrong with this, I didn't want to take that chance yet. So I'm going to test it out. If it works, then we'll get rid of the box today. All right, now to see how to load this baby. Oh, it's right here. Okay. I have a lot to learn about this one. All right, screwing it in here. This is also on the opposite side of where the buddy heaters stuff is. Alright, I'm going to assume it's just like the one. Let me see. I do like this handle. Is actually pretty nice. It's a metal handle. I do like it. All right, let's see. All right, hold on. I think I need to look at the instructions. Right now, it seems this one's a little more temperamental, but I do have it lit. And it did take me a long time. Now what it could be is the oxygen sensor, because you know I've got the other heater running and maybe it's got most of the oxygen pulled out. I'm not sure. But right now it's working. I'm getting ready to put it up on the table where I have this. So let's see. Let's see if we can safely move it to this table, or if it's going to kick off the tip over sensor. Doesn't seem to like it on the table. Yeah, it kicked off on the table. We are at an angle. That must be it. I hear there's a bypass on that. I don't know if I want to use the bypass, but I've been trying to light it on the table, so I imagine that was what the problem was. All right. So basically, if you want one that's not temperamental, pay the extra money and get the Mr. Heater Buddy Heater. I've had no real problems with it. Now, if it tips over, it shuts off. But this one doesn't even like an angle. All right, see if I can relight it here. Yep. So I'm like this with the heater right now, so it doesn't seem to mind this angle, but when it's at this angle, it seems to have a problem. Good to know. But there is a lot of condensation going on, gang. So if you watched yesterday's video, you know I basically didn't do anything. I don't plan on doing much today either, but I basically didn't do anything because it was so cold. So I had my leftover food, and I kind of was wanting something else, but it was so cold I didn't want to go out and even go to the cab. I was already in my shorts and everything. So today I'm hanging out waiting for some place to open that I can get some lunch. And that's my plan for today. I'm going to eat some lunch. I'm going to watch a little TV, or at least have it in the background, finish editing a video, and I'm going to go to sleep because I do work again tonight. That's about it. Try not to spend too much more money. I'm glad this heater's working now. I was getting really upset because I spent $80 with my discount on this heater, and it was acting like it wasn't going to work, and I didn't want to have to go to my own place of employment and go, I gotta return this one again. It's putting out a lot of heat now. Like right now I've got the Buddy Heater on low, which when it's on low it sputters a little bit, but it saves the propane. And I've got this one on high that I'm getting ready to switch to low. So let's see what that's like. That's its low. I didn't really see a drop in the, I guess it is dimming a little bit. I have heard that the Ozark heater puts out more heat, especially on high, but uses more propane. So since you only get 3 hours on the buddy heater, I'm guessing maybe I'm going to get 2 hours on this one. But the idea is to have this one running, at least for right now, to help really boost the cold when we're in the van. I'm getting ready to turn both of them. Well, I'm getting ready to turn the Ozark Trail one off once I get the room heated up a little bit, because like I said, the sun's out and the sun hitting the van should help heat me up. Catch up with you around lunchtime, everyone. And Happy's nice and comfortable. Even though it's warm in here, she's still hanging out underneath the blankets. Aren't you, Hap Hap? Good girl.
There were only a few men I trust with my life. Two of them built this wall. I've known the guys who died.
We are, hey everyone, parked over by that 24-hour gym now. Went to get Chinese food. Left my phone in the back so I didn't record, but here's what I got. They hook you up pretty good here. That's my rice. That's the thing about this place. They really load you up. And this is my cashew chicken I got today. I'll show you what I got in a second here. Alright, here's what I got. Cashew chicken, Waddles, rice, and 2 egg rolls. And it's actually really cold. When I was in the cab, I didn't put my jacket on and I was shivering, but I've got this heat on high right now. And then now that I'm in a leveler spot, I've got this heat on high as well. So it feels really good back here. Waddles is jockeying for some chicken. Right? Alright everyone, I'm going to eat, watch a little Air Channel TV, and then I'm probably going to get some sleep because I work tonight.
I spent my entire life trying to hide it.
You are a disgrace to our kind. These are the Dreamwalkers.
Oh no. Well, I did it again, so let's hope we've got enough juice and this thing works. Alright, everything's juiced up. Cross your fingers, everyone, because it's almost time for work. Here we go. Oh boy. Thank goodness. This bad boy has really saved my bacon on more than one occasion now. Let's make sure we take it inside and charge it up today. Alright, let's get out of here. Man, there's almost nobody at the gym today. There's only 2 people at that 24-hour gym. I guess because it's Sunday and it's cold. Alright everyone, I made it safely to work. You know, I even asked myself when I was laying in my bed, did I remember to unhook my backup camera? And I told myself yes. The problem is I forgot that I went to go get Chinese food and I had reconnected it, and I guess I didn't disconnect it. So ran the battery down. And that was roughly, I guess, maybe 10 hours. So, like I said, it didn't used to be like that, but the thing is, I don't drive that far anymore. Like right now, especially with this gig, except when I go to that next town over, which is only about a 20-minute drive at the most. But like, say this week, I am only about 3 minutes away from my gym, from where I just left. I'm just not that far, so I'm not driving enough. And of course, I did some reading up last time this happened, and it takes about an hour worth of driving to charge your battery all the way up. So I really need to gas up and go on a real drive again to make sure this battery's got some longevity. And like I said, I only drove 3 minutes to get here, so my concern is I shut this thing off and it hasn't charged up enough. But I do have to go inside here shortly, so I need to go in the back and get my work phone and make sure I bring the charger in with me as well. Man, you know, the first time we ever had a battery issue, which was last summer, we went inside and got this little Stanley Fat Max. It was on site clearance, so I think I got it for like $50, maybe a little less. And it has saved my bacon. I think this is the 4th time we've had to use it. The first 2 times, and the first time we didn't know. The second time we figured out that the battery terminal was loose. So once I tightened it up, we didn't really have that problem. And we drove it around till it charged back up all the way. Once we jumped it. The last 2 times it's been this backup camera. Which let me go ahead and unhook it now. It's too useful for me to not have. I really need to get that hardwire kit. The problem is, you know, I've gone through 2 hardwire kits with this. Now they've lasted about a year each. But if it's going to save my battery, it might be time to go ahead and pull the trigger on another one. In fact, I might do that today. Have one delivered from Amazon. The other headache is, you know, it's not super far or anything, but I need to, when I get the hardwire kit, I gotta chuck the wires and all that stuff. So, all right, let me go to the back and get my stuff, because it's about time for me to be inside, at least, you know, the early time. I like to be there. I like to go inside about 30 minutes before my shift, because you can clock in 9 minutes before your shift, and it gives me time to go in, brush my teeth, get cleaned up, and get some editing done, or an upload. All right, all set. I got the heater on low for the kitties. Today should be the last day that it's really cold. Then it's just like the 30s at night, maybe high 20s. The Ozark Trail heater puts out a lot more heat, but it's also very temperamental. Like it takes a little bit to start if you're maybe not on a level surface, I don't know. And then it doesn't like low. Like when I put it on low, it basically sputters out like when the Buddy heater has a clogged line. And it's brand new. Box was sealed, everything. But when they're both running, it got toasty. And if I had an emergency heat need, that Ozark Trail, when it's on, will put out a lot more heat. It's just almost unbearably hot when it gets hot. It's a slightly bigger surface compared to the original. And then, but like on high, that tank is only supposed to, the little green tank's only supposed to last an hour. So it almost has me tempted to get another hose and get another 20-pound propane bottle. I'm resisting that urge right now, but everything went well. Ate good, slept good. Had that issue with the battery, but that was solved. So I guess what I'm saying is I've had a good day. I hope that you have as well. And until next time, This is your old pal, Hannibal the Vanimal, signing off.